Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Friday, November the 8th. I am Bishop Darrell Watkins, the senior minister here at Sunshine Cathedral. With me today is Sunshine Cathedral's executive minister. He's also my husband, Bishop Robert Griffin, and Sunshine Cathedral's Minister of Connections, the Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell. Visit sunshinecathedral.org to learn more about our progressive faith community and how you can be part of it, no matter where you live in the world. And if you live in South Florida, be sure to check out the Sunshine Cathedral Center for the Performing Arts, offering entertainment for the LGBTQ+ community to benefit the LGBTQ+ community. If you enjoy the Queer God Squad, please share this or other episodes with your friends, family, and social media communities. At Sunshine Cathedral, we want you to know that you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. How is Jesus a ransom for many? And why should I think that's a good thing? Jesus in the Gospel of Mark says, "The chosen one didn't come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." End quote. This statement has been used by some pulpit pounders to make the case that Jesus' agonizing execution somehow benefited those who believed in him. But how can torment, injustice, suffering, and cruel execution bring benefit to anyone? And what sort of God would require that for us to be in relationship with that God? It's useful to know that Mark, and we have no idea who he really was writing 40 or so years after Jesus' execution, relying on oral tradition and imagination rather than first-hand knowledge of what Jesus said and did. Jesus may not have even said those words, and Mark may not have meant ransom as we usually suspect. We tend to think of ransom as paying a villain to release a victim, but a better word for what is meant in that scripture would be redeem. We might hear Jesus saying, "I am willing to do all that I can to redeem as many people as possible." To redeem something is to recognize and claim its value. As a kid, I would redeem soda bottles. We'd take them to some shop and they'd pay us a nickel or a dime, whatever it was, for each one. The bottle had value, it had worth, and that worth was recognized. That bottle could be dirty, cracked, scratched, but the glass was worth what glass was worth. What the bottle had experienced, what it had been through, did not reduce its value. What it looked like did not reduce its value. That's what it means to be redeemed, to have your innate dignity recognized and affirmed. I'm willing to do. This is what I hear Jesus saying in that phase. I am willing to do all that I can to let you know that you have sacred value, that you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Ransom is a scary word, but redeem is the more accurate word, and it simply means affirming your innate value, which cannot be reduced no matter what you've been through. Isn't that what Sunshine Cathedral and the Queer God Squad tell you every single day? It is certainly my hope, my plan, to tell you that as many times as possible, that there's this one thing. The world is made of the same thing that everything is made of. And there's just the one, and we're all part of it. Everything is an expression of the one thing. You know, when you think about the calcium in your bones that came from a star that exploded before Earth even existed, you are billions of year old stardust and energy and light, and you are connected to everything that is, because they're all made of the same stuff. And so we're all connected to everything. We're all part of everything. We are made of stuff that is eternal. That is amazing. That is amazing. And that is our truth. So of course we have a lot of possibilities. Of course we have a lot of potential. Of course we are innately amazing. We could even say divine. So that is our message. That is our message to you, to focus on that good, to dwell on that good, to bring out that good, to act from that good, and to know if I want to get better, to aspire to something better, it's possible. Let's get to work. We can do it. And we can help each other do it, because we're stardust. We're rainbows. We're light. We're energy. We're the earth. We're the stars. We're all of it. And so, we don't need to be bought. We don't need to be rescued. We need to be affirmed. So we need to be redeemed. We need to be affirmed so that we can live up to our potential and keep moving forward.
Right. Words have meanings. Words have impact. And when you're doing biblical study and looking at these specific phrases or terms, it really helps to dig a little deeper into maybe what the intent was. Of course, we'll never know exactly, but you can look at it and say, you know what, this interpretation meant this. This interpretation meant this. So instead of ransom, how about redeem? Redeem for many, or welcome for many, joy and hope and positivity for many.
Many.
Yep.
I like that.
I was having a conversation with someone recently, and he said, when a baby is born into the world, is a baby born in sin. And
We're going to go with no.
Well, yeah, we're going to go with no, certainly not in any shape, form, or fashion.
Right.
But part of the conversation then said too, well, what did the Bible say? And I am so weary of the people who say, well, what does the Bible say? Or what did the Bible say? Because at this point, you're doing cherry picking on what it says, because I can also show you a point, at famous passages, slaves obey their masters. You know, so let's not go to what this is. And I love, the redeem factor, because we all we're all worth something.
Right.
And when we realize that we're worth something and we live into our worth, it makes living all the more pleasurable, because then you're kind of at that energy level where I am who I am and nobody can take it away from me. And I am who I am based on this energy that's connected to, that's connected. And once you realize how connected you are to the energy of yourself, there's nothing that can take the energy away from you. So I love that connectedness of the redemption part.
Right. And we say that God is omnipresent. Now that assumes that you believe in something divine. I think that the one thing is divine, that everything is part of the one thing, and that's life itself, that's reality itself. And for me, that's what that is divine. So, but if that's not a word that you use or whatever, it's different. But for those who do say they believe in God or a presence or a power or a spirit, they also often say that God is omnipresent. Well, if God is omnipresent, that is the one presence, because that is the presence that is everywhere, fully present. Well, if that's present, nothing else can be in that same space. So if it's omnipresent, all presence, that means it's the only presence. So again, I can't be ransomed because who's holding me hostage? Because there's nothing else.
Right.
So who am I being bought from when there's only the one thing? And so the ransom bit, that's not the way to go. It has to be something else. And I think it does mean affirm your worth, because not only does that say you're worth something, but it invites you into that. Invites you to explore that, to embrace that, to consider it might be true. And then that heals so much. Almost every terrible thing, this really wretched, brutal, horrible thing that anyone's ever done, it was never because they felt good. It was never because they thought they were great. It was never because they thought, that they were contributing something wonderful. It was always out of fear. I'm not good enough. And I think I'm not good enough because of those people. They're the ones who are keeping all my good stuff from me. So I'll just be mean to them or whatever. You don't have that when you're happy. You don't have that when you love yourself. And that's easier to do when you believe that you are part of something everlastingly good. And so, I don't need to be ransomed. I need to wake up to how good I really am and then live it.
Live into that. Yep. Absolutely.
Well, that's today with the Queer God Squad. We want to thank you for joining us. We're here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ plus community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's leading progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together.
We are all in this together. Remember that. You are God's miracle, not God's mistake.
Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad. Goodbye.